Hey everybody. So, it's been another fun work week. Uh, so far everything was good. Some of my coworkers gave me some canned food, uh, which was really nice of them. That was a lot of them have been offering to like, hey, you can come crash on my couch, or this guy we're helping out, he's not working out so well, so you can come. And I like the offer. It's really nice to see that kind of, just charitable, you know, to help somebody out. But at the same time, like I know, well, I'm sure a lot of you have been through it where you give somebody, a couch to sleep on or something. You're like, yeah, feel free to stay for, a couple days, couple weeks, till you get back on your feet. But then it turns into a couple months. And, those little things that just kind of grate you about other people start poking through, and it just starts to build resentment, and eventually it comes to that, like, you gotta leave. So I don't want to do that to any of them, as nice as that is, the offer. And it'd be nice to take them up on maybe a day or two when it starts to get like freezing temperatures out here, but like, I don't want to sleep on someone's couch and then become a burden, as nice as it sounds. Um, it's not too bad. I got to get it cleaned up in here again. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. But it finally happened. Somebody stole my boots. Like, guess it's not really stealing if in the middle of the night I opened the back of my car and my boots fell out of my car so that I can go and use the bathroom, and I got back in and my boots are gone. So thankfully I had a backup pair from when my uncle-in-law died. He was a big man like me, and not much of the other family could fit in any of his clothes. So they're like, what are we going to do with all these like big man clothes? And I'm like, I'll take them. And yeah, he was a vintage 1950s, 60s man. So, he had several pairs of boots, a drawer full of pocket knives, and, flannel shirts. He had a suit. It was the first time in my life I ever owned a suit, was when I inherited one from a dead person. But yeah, that was one of his pairs of boots that they stole. And again, I'm not mad, and I guess I shouldn't refer to it as stealing, because I dropped them on the ground, and that was my bad. Because I know it happened, like, it was like 2 in the morning. I woke up, with nature's call, and I opened up the back, and I could see a guy across the street, probably on Fent. You can tell by the, where they're just that weird zombie like, he's across the road in like 38-degree weather. He just slumped over his bike, and maybe it wasn't him. At a certain point, as long as I have a pair of boots, because I'm required to have boots for work. That's like part of their dress. And I mean, if anybody out there has had to buy steel toe boots, they're not cheap. They're like, a cheap pair is $120, which for me is 2 weeks worth of food. So, like, it sucks, but like from my last video, you need a good pair of socks, you need a good pair of shoes, and they're a good pair of boots. My uncle-in-law, when he passed, he was doing well for himself, and he'd bought himself, really nice pairs of boots, really nice shirts, stuff like that. So some guy out there where I live has got a nice new pair of boots, and he'll get through this winter. So I'm not really mad, but it did happen, and it does happen out here. That's why my advice for people that are, looking at becoming homeless or living in their car, which some people don't consider to be homeless. It's like, yeah, I've got a car, but I don't have a stove, I don't have a fridge. I mean, I've got air conditioning in my car, but it requires gas to run. I don't have access to internet. I'm kind of behind on my phone payments, so I might not have phone soon. But yeah, it's kind of why I'm not really mad. It just sucks. They're a perfectly good pair of boots, and they would have lasted me for another year before I had to break in. The last pair of boots I have from my dead uncle-in-law. Just it's disappointing that that's where we're at. As people. It's like there's one guy that, yeah, he screams and yells all the time that people stole his stuff, but he's also one of those guys that'll go to, trap houses to stay a couple of nights with a bunch of other people that are high off their gourd on drugs. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're going to get your stuff stolen because you're all twacked out and you're going to sleep for 14 hours and you're in a house full of people in the same desperate situation you are. Like, people are going to take advantage of you. Yeah, I figured it would happen eventually. I was really hoping it wouldn't be something like a nice pair of $120 boots that, it could take me up to a month to get enough money to buy another pair. But again, that's, it's 2 weeks worth of food to replace the boots that I lost. Oh well. It's the way it is out here. Like, you gotta keep your stuff tight. Keep it on your person at all times. Don't let it fall out of your car or fall out of your backpack or, leave it at your camping spot out in the woods, wherever you are. Like, if it's valuable to you, keep it on your person at all times. I mean, yeah, they'll just grow legs and walk away. So, yeah. It was payday today. I didn't go too crazy. I just got food and gas. All the rest of my money is going towards paying off my debt so that, I don't spend the rest of my life like this. But it's been tough. But yeah, the other people helping me out gave me like a couple of protein bars, which are nice. Because they're, it's one of those, like, when you live like I do, you don't buy chocolate. Chocolate's just, you don't need it. It won't keep you going through the day. It has no nutrition or anything. But my God, that first bite I had, it was, one of those Nature Valley, like oats, grains, almonds and stuff, but with like a thin layer of chocolate over the top. And, it's almost worth, what do they call it? Fasting? Or, refraining from eating certain foods. Like, if you can't appreciate how amazing chocolate tastes, like, not just, like, chocolate, good, but that endorphin rush that you get. Like, just don't eat chocolate. Like, make it a goal to not eat chocolate for, like, a whole month. No chocolate. Because that's where I've been at. It's like ramen, canned tuna. I got more vegetables, dried mangoes. Pretty bland, but it'll keep you alive kind of diet. And yeah, I had one of those protein bars they gave me with that thin layer of chocolate. It was... I'm a fat guy. Like, you telling me I don't appreciate chocolate? I appreciated that chocolate. I mean, there are parts of my mouth that like I haven't felt in so long tasting food, back in the back of the tongue, along it was different. You don't appreciate those things that that you got until you don't have them anymore, like a pillow, warmth, chocolate. It's a lot of those, like, it's almost not so bad to live like this, because you almost get to rediscover how amazing some things are. You know, things that, yeah, any other fat guy in my position just be like, oh, it's chocolate, it's no big deal. But yeah, it just was this explosion of neurochemical responses, endorphins, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah. So yeah, at this point, like, I've removed a lot of the stressor, the additional stressors in my life. Like, now it's just paying off my debts and getting back into normal society. It was just one of those things I felt like I had to mention, because like at first this morning it really irked me that, like, seriously, my boots, it's something that I need to keep my job so that I don't end up in absolute poverty. But at the same time, like, just knowing I had a backup pair, and knowing that somebody else out there that's worse off, somebody who, I wear size 13s, which is not like massive, but that's a pretty goddamn big boot. Like, not a lot of people are fitting into 13s. There's some guy out there Ronald McDonalding around with my boots. But I mean, they're steel toe, they're leather, they got nice, what do you call those, shoestrings, boot strings. Like, for some guy out there, it's a big deal. I mean, yeah, he probably doesn't feel the great. I mean, I don't know. Some people get delight in stealing from others and, feeling like they pulled one off, but I feel like that more comes from a sense of, like, life has constantly screwed me. And, like, this is one of those few times where I feel like I got to screw life back. This guy's got a car, he's comfortable, he's living like a king. And I'm with these, tattered, crappy shoes. Like, I got his boots. Ha! And, I guess for a moment, he either feels bad having to steal them, but knows he needs them. So it's a matter of survival. Or he doesn't feel bad, because he's just constantly getting the shit end of the stick. And it feels like finally he won one. So either way, I know a lot of people experience that, in high homeless traffic areas, people experience that a lot, and they come to hate us. For a good while this morning, I was like, that's why even homeless people hate homeless people. But the more I thought on it, I don't know, like a cosmic sense, or, Christians would refer to it as God's plan. Buddhists would be, the karmic wheel. In that sort of sense, like, I didn't need them because I had a backup pair. But whoever was so desperate to take them, like, they needed them. And maybe it was just part of the plan, or my karma, that they moved on. They weren't my boots. I didn't buy them. I inherited them from a dead guy. So, I don't know. For all those people that, if you got stuff stolen, like, if it's just some idiot teenager, like, yeah, that's reason to be mad. But I don't know. There's some people out there that might actually legitimately need the things that you take for granted.